Okay. Beautiful back and buys today. Ready to get into it. Traffic's not bad, so it's already feeling nice to be able to get there quickly. Just got off work and looking good for food. I'm ready to get the gym in, get through it intensely, and then go straight home and eat. It's gonna be a good day. I can already feel it. So let's get right into it. All right. As I'm going through and doing all these workouts, again, I'm making sure that no matter what I do, I kind of round my shoulders and make sure that I'm hitting my muscles as nicely as I can. And then just making it feel like I'm bending all these bars away from themselves as I go up. And then on top of that, we're just gonna be supersetting with some nice side raises. All right. With side raises, I'm always making sure I'm nice and strict. I don't want to be throwing the weight around until I'm at the end of it all. And then I'll let it just fly around just so I get extra burn. But then at the end, I'm holding there because it activates so much up in your shoulders. And if you just hold it for 30 seconds after each set, you'll just feel such a burn. So try it out. I can already tell just based off doing that. I'm gonna have to switch to a supported machine soon enough because I can feel me working in my shoulders, also my biceps, but if I can feel that it's taken over up here, I know I'm not getting what's optimal down here. So, do another set of all this and then switch it up. But overall, definitely enjoying this much more than sitting in class. I was supposed to go, but made the executive decision to skip out today just because it's a very bare minimum class, 1 credit. It's good information. However, I can just review the slides. I was just not feeling it compared to what I was feeling for the gym today. And I want to make sure I have my priorities straight. Not to say school is not a priority, but this specific class for 1 credit is not my highest priority. I've already gotten what I wanted out of that class, so here on out, it's just kind of something that I have to go to. But the overall attendance isn't that high either for the grade. So I'm not missing much. I'm not taking a beating on my grade for missing the class, because it's just once. And I'm getting optimal gains. So, couldn't be better. I don't know how well this is all gonna get picked up. I guess I just gotta talk louder. But we'll do 3 sets of this and a bicep exercise. And then we'll do mid rows on a cable machine just to make sure that we get everything in the straight middle of my back. Even though it's still gonna work somewhat of what this is working, I just wanna make sure that I don't miss out on anything. And then after that, we'll go to lower back extensions and focus all lower back and maybe mix in 1 more bicep exercise and then we'll call it. But until then, 2 more of these. With this, I'm not going for as strict. I'm going for more just throwing the weight around and getting a good contraction as I do it. And then on the cable, we'll go strict because we'll go a little bit lighter. As I go through and hit lower back extensions, I just always want to make sure that I'm keeping a neutral neck again, just because you don't want to be coming up and twisting everything up. I also want to make sure that I'm completely rigid and making sure that I'm only bending what needs to be bent, and I'm really locking my feet in as I get into the position. And from there, and then from there, I'm just taking them. Getting nice and rigid. Let's go. This is exactly what I wanted. Fuck you. It's beautiful. All right. Well, and just like that, the grip that we wanted just gets godsend delivered to us. It's a beautiful thing. Even though I'm stuck in a locked position, as I take the handles, I'm trying to pull them apart as I'm coming back. And that just increases the overall contraction by so much. So, let's get into it. Whew. You also want to make sure, I'm not the best at it, but keeping your neck neutral, because as soon as you start cranking it anyway, you're going to start tweaking it. And all it takes is one good forceful rep and slinging it backwards to just cause a little bit of a headache. So always try to be mindful of that as you're working out. And as you're going, if you feel like you can't pull it apart and get the rep completed, you just need to drop your weight. Just drop it a little bit and you'll be good. Finished for today. Feeling great off of it. Definitely was very pleased with the overall exercises and how I was doing my contractions. I made sure that key points from my past videos, I made sure to apply them to today. So pausing on my mid rows off the cable machine, and then even doing my low to high rows, making sure that I'm just pulling those handles away from each other as I'm pulling the weight up to make sure that I'm maximizing the squeeze and contraction in my back. It's just the little things that add up to make the big difference. So make sure that you're doing them. I wanted to touch on for lower back extensions. They can be an amazing exercise or a terrible exercise. It all depends on your form, because I used to do them horribly and I always felt such terrible pain in my lower back that was just not necessary. It was a lack of me caring to lock myself in to the machine so that nothing else was moving. And it was also kind of just me trying to throw away or throw around that weight or any weight that I was using for it. I found that 2 plates is a good weight that I can do very controlled and feel a great burn with not many reps. So I'm not stuck in the machine forever going up and down and I feel intensely sore directly after doing it. And I also know that my hamstrings take quite a beating because they just get stretched, but it's also good that they get stretched as they're going down on that machine, because it just helps with overall, I'm just stretching my hamstrings. It just feels great. I'll have a leg day tomorrow, so by hitting that, I'm helping get myself ready for leg day on top of strengthening my lower back, which is essential for squatting and the majority of leg day exercises. So, very important to make sure you're doing it right. Keep a neutral neck no matter what back exercises or most exercises that you're doing. I don't think anybody would ever recommend tilting your neck up or tilting your head down as you do an exercise, just because there's no benefit to potentially hurting your neck. So, however, maybe I need to work in some neck exercises to just strengthen up and increase, the circumference of my neck. Just get it bigger. And that would also help build my traps. But overall, I'm very pleased with the day. I enjoyed it. Skipping school to go to the gym, I'm not going to say I recommend it, but, there's context matters. There's pros and cons to weigh out. I felt lazy this weekend. I felt like I didn't get to do much exercise. So I sacrificed a little bit of education, a 1-credit class, so nothing big, something that I've already gotten exactly what I wanted out of that class. So I'm very pleased with everything I've already learned through that class. And yes, there's more to learn. However, I can sacrifice one day to make up for a gloomy, stormy day and stormy weekend. Just get in the gym, get home a little earlier. I would be getting home almost 8 o'clock if I went to class. And I'm just not feeling that today. I want to get home, I want to eat, get cleaned up, and get all that done before 8 o'clock. So, now I'm getting that all done an hour earlier, which is huge for me. Whether you are going to skip out on one thing to do another, just weigh out the pros and cons to each of them and what you value more based off each of those decisions. And simply by doing that, you're going to discover what it is you need to do in the moment. For me today, it was I could go to class for 50 minutes, drive a total of 2 hours to go to that class, get home late, exhausted, eat dinner, and that's my night. Or I go to the gym, I get a great pump in, I get done even earlier than the class would have got me done. I get dinner an hour earlier, home an hour earlier, get to relax, have an hour more of my time tonight, and all I'm sacrificing is a 50-minute class where I'm going to learn something, but I'm also able to just learn that from home because it's a 1-credit class with not much crazy going on. Attendance is 25% of the overall grade. So one class isn't going to kill my attendance grade, but just based off that ratio, everybody knows if that big chunk of your grade is your attendance, there's not the biggest importance in that class. And it's a 1 credit, so it's not carrying much weight for my overall GPA. But prioritize what you want to prioritize. And, there's no point prioritizing something you don't value. I value that class, but I also value my overall mental. And going to that class today would have been completely draining. And who knows, I probably might have not learned anything because I would have just sat there mindlessly until it ended, done an exit quiz, got my 2% for that class, and then came home exhausted, eat a dinner, and just go to bed. And that didn't sound like the best night tonight. I wanted something a little more, and that's why I skipped it. So, always weigh out the pros and cons. Don't just make stupid decisions because you don't feel like doing them. Figure out why you don't want to do them and what you can do to be better than that other decision and what's going to advance you further. So, hope you enjoyed and take care.